Hello everyone and welcome to another video from Mekanism. Today I'm going to show you how to make the supercritical phase shifter. First you're going to need to make plutonium pellets. Plutonium you make by putting nuclear waste in an isotopic centrifuge. Then you put the polonium into a pressure reaction chamber along with some fluoride dust and it creates the pebbles. To actually make it, you're going to need SPS casing, which is short for supercritical phase shifter. It's made from 4 HDPE sheets, 4 polonium pellets, and 1 plutonium pellet. Next, we're going to need at least 3 SPS ports. Each one requires 4 SPSP casings and 1 ultimate control circuit. And lastly, you're going to need a supercharged coil, which is 3 copper ingots, 2 ultimate control circuits, 3 polonium pellets, and 1 laser. Now how to build it. First, you place a block. You can either use a structured glass or the casing. Then you build 2 in each direction. Then you need to connect it like this. And now, on every single one of these blocks, you place the casing. Now, you need to place the glass or the casing 5 blocks up on each of these, and then 3 in each side. This creates basically the same pattern as you have down here. Now you do that on every single side. And now you need to place a block in every single one of these spaces for it to create kind of like a ball. Then you place this casing on top. And now all you have to do is just connect it with glass. And place the last casing in each one of these corners. And if you've done it correctly, it should create a redstone. Now the ports, you're going to need at least 1 input and 1 output. And next you're going to need a few casings in the middle, and that's where you place the supercharged coil. Each one of the coils can use up to 400 million FE, so if you're not making that much power, 1 is enough. To configure the output and input, you just click on it with the configurator and the coils have to be on input. Once you open it, you're going to see multiple things. First, the status, which is for now idle, but it'll change once you input something. Then you have 2 tanks. This one is for plutonium and this one for antimatter. And this progress bar at the bottom shows you how close you are to making 1 millibucket of antimatter. And now how to operate it. You're going to need to pump polonium into the input and put energy into the ports with the coils. And now if you open it, you can see that it starts generating antimatter so fast that the progress bar isn't even loading. I already prepared another one of these connected to the fusion reactor we have here. And as you can see, it is a lot slower, so you can see the progress bar actually filling. And once you activate it, you can see that the status says active, and there's the energy input, which for now is 20 ME. And then there's the process rate, which is basically how fast you're making antimatter. And now how to use it. You first have to pump it into a chemical crystallizer, which creates antimatter pellets from every 1000 millibuckets from antimatter. Those pellets you can then use to create an antiprotonic nuclear synthesizer, which requires 2 of the antimatter pellets, 4 atomic alloy, 2 ultimate control circuits, and 1 steel casing. The antiprotonic nuclear synthesizer you can then use to create items out of different items with some antimatter. Unlike the pellets, it only requires between 1 to 5 millibuckets, and the most useful recipes are turning wither skeleton skulls into wither skeleton skulls, normal eggs into dragon eggs, coal into diamonds, which then you can turn into emeralds, golden apples into enchanted golden apples, and so on. There's also recipes that create resource blocks out of wool. So for example, red wool creates redstone or white wool creates iron. If you accidentally create too much antimatter pellets, you can turn them back into antimatter by putting them into a chemical oxidizer, so you don't lose out on anything. I know this was a bit shorter than other videos, but this is mostly so you can create the antimatter pellets, which will be useful in crafting later stuff like the mecha suit or the QIO system. And this is going to be the end of this video. I hope you found it useful, and bye.